Kick some ass in Avernus.
Kick some ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
With the definitely morally ambiguous Darmita.
If you guys know that reference.
Oh, yeah. That was a Duke Nukem reference.
It is. It's so good.
There we go. My microphone was off. Hey. All right, I'm going to do it up. Here we go.
Wow, wow, wow.
There it is. Oh, I did not set the cameras, so tonight the part of Todd will be played by Gord. I'm just kidding.
Awesome. I'm DM now.
I knew there was something that I... Oh no! We've had a mutiny.
Gord is God.
Yes, actually, Gord did run a game, and that was lots of fun. Hi, Internet. I'm Todd, and we're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. We've been at this a little while, guys. This is episode 28, and I think around episode 15, it became Descent into Avernus, so I'm excited about that. As I drink my coffee, my sanity juice. I think that's backwards on the screen. Hi. We are SideQuests Live, and we likes to play the Dungeons and the Dragons. And I'm going to be the DM, and I'm just going to go around the little horn here, and everybody can introduce themselves, except, well, we'll get to this guy in a few minutes, but everybody else gets a chance. One more thing before we do this, though. Internet, you guys are part of this too. Even though it's not reading your stuff tonight, I am encountering some glitches. It should be up there in the chat bar, but Yaofen is already chiming in and saying, yeah, they live. It was a movie They Live reference. Early to mid 80s. I don't know if I've watched that one yet, Fen. Anyway, as you can see, we do interact with our audience, and in fact, we get to play along with them. Audience, you can spend some plot points to affect the game. So basically, you guys, Internet, get almost unlimited plot points. The people around the table get 2 each. So if you come up with an idea, something you want to change the game with, some new threat, some new stroke of luck, or just a cool concept that you want to try to work into the game, we're going to try our best to roll with it and drop it into the game. It could just be a passing, ghost mutters about their grandmother's chicken, or it could be something directly related to the game. So everybody got 2. And Internet, just because you're so beautiful, you can have as many as you like. All right, let's start over here with Gordon as I fix some cameras.
Hey, Gordon, longtime player playing Fenris, Shadow Sorcerer, and he has a bunch of things that he's trying to do right now, including maybe it's a bit of a recap, but
oh, please do.
I guess come to grips with a bit of a reunion with an old character that he thought he would never see again.
That's right. So way back before episode 1, technically, you parted ways with a bard paladin and suddenly have had a bit of a reunion. So we'll come back. So yes, that's you. Let's keep going around the horn and we'll go over to Bela.
All right. Hey, Internet. I'm Bela, and I am playing Darmita, I don't know if I'm ambiguous, but I'm definitely not moral. Fallen Aasimar. What am I? I'm a
Fallen Aasimar something.
I am a Gloomstalker ranger in this game, and she's also, she's pretty amoral. She's also the protector of a very frail old man on this journey in hell.
Yes, she encountered this old man who apparently knew her mother, who Darmita didn't really know very well. So there's something going on there. He is he is her link to a past that she doesn't really know. So we'll maybe find out a bit more. Of course, the old man did end up being dragged along with you guys into hell. So that's kind of interesting. So that won't possibly come back to haunt you at all. Although,
no, couldn't possibly.
Now the old man has lost his memory, and little bits and pieces have been slowly coming back. So we'll find out what happens with that. All right. Oh, I made this a little too small. Sorry, I'm just doing like 4 things at once. You know, like I do. Hey, Darcy. Who are you?
Hey.
Who the heck are you?
I'm Darcy. Hi. In this game I play Philees who is a Sverfeneblen Druid. She's fun. She's great. You can find me at twitch.tv/DarcyBits for my own stuff, where I do all sorts of things, but just recently I was doing some art for the game.
Yeah, like minutes before we went live.
It was like an hour. Maybe half an hour.
You can measure hours and minutes.
That's true. I tell people that all the time. Thank you for agreeing with me. Preemptively.
Well, I knew it all the time. And
anyway, yeah, that's me.
All right, and she jumped in. She was in prison and then found these adventurers and decided to tag along with them. And now, of course, their destination was not quite what you may have had in mind. Now you're in the first layer of hell. And
Philees tends to get distracted by things, so,
Yeah, I think she's probably the one who's handling it the best, to be honest. Everyone else is, managing, but Philees, I kind of get I feel like she's walking around, and if cameras were invented, she hasn't put hers down yet.
Yeah, that's accurate.
And then, of course, we have my good pal from a long time ago, helped out with some shadow runs and so on. And his name, why don't you introduce yourself there, Carl?
All right, hey guys, my name is Carl, and I'm joining you guys all the way from good old America. I'm stationed here in Colorado Springs, and thought it was a good idea to join you guys on your adventure. So, well, I won't divulge the character yet. I'll let Todd lead us through that, and looking forward to the gruesome adventure.
Well, I'm really glad you could join us. Thank you very much, and thank you very much. Of course, I am going to have to bring you in after a break just to redo some camera nonsense, but you get to watch the game with the others, and don't forget to drop in some plot points, and if you type them in chat, I won't even count them against you too, at least for now. So we'll work you in a few minutes, probably a little longer than that though, so sorry. But I'm super psyched that I get the chance, God bless the internet, you can hang out with old friends who live halfway across the continent or most of the way and still play some good old-fashioned role-playing games with them. So, and that brings us around to the people who aren't here today, unfortunately. So let's start off with the elephant in the room, or at least he's elephant-colored, sort of. That is Benkuhm. Somebody want to mention who the heck Benkuhm? Somebody mention who's Benkuhm and why. Where are you, Trent?
Well, I can't say where Trent is. I don't know, but I have recently contacted him and sent him a message, and I'm just waiting to see if he's gonna join us tonight, because I don't know. But Benkuhm is our Goliath. I'm not exactly sure what type he is.
That's true. I don't think I've ever asked.
Yeah, I think he's bear totem.
He's a bear totem.
Oh, right.
He's talking about what type of barbarian. I was
He's
like,
a totem war.
Yeah, he definitely is. Bear and elk.
Okay. Yeah, because he and then
meant like what type of Goliath, and I'm like, that's not a thing.
No, I meant what type of barbarian is he?
It should be a thing.
Bear totem, and
I'm an East Side barbarian.
He's in a precarious situation that we're not quite sure about.
A struggle for his very soul, you might say.
He's having some transitioning issues.
Absolutely. Him and my Twitch stream here.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, that's Benkuhm. And I'm going to do you all the favor and not try to mimic his voice.
Oh, that was my favorite when you did a Benkuhm impression. All right, so So hopefully he'll join us later. If not, he will be generously played by Bela there. And of course, my other good pal who couldn't be with us tonight, longtime player, couldn't make it. You know, having young kids as a D&D player is so tough. But anyway, hope I'm not giving away too much. But he's playing Archibald. Oh, hey, Yaofen, thanks. I agree. I think that should happen. Yaofen just said in chat, 120 XP if Bela does the voice for the game. So, do you want some free XP, Bela?
Yeah, that'll put you at a total of 120 because we don't use experience.
Yeah, we've been using milestone. But you know what? I could nudge that clock along a little bit. Anyway, so Archibald has also joined you. He was originally from this holier than thou city, and he is a rascal. So he is perhaps a guide. There's a handful of various NPCs straggling along too, and of course our art is done by the lovely, talented. Come on, transition. There we go, Darcy Bits. So be sure to check that out and his stream if you get the chance. All right, I think that covers everything. And shout out to any new viewers and old viewers for jumping in and joining us today. We're gonna get started. I hope I fixed the cameras because it's too late now. Let's see. All right. Oh, laggy. There we go. So, you find yourselves in the first layer of hell. The sky is this dark, roiling clouds. Occasionally the cloud cover will part and you see just glimpses of stars, but not of constellations you recognize. And they're very quickly swallowed up by the thick roiling cloud covers with forks of lightning and generally a reddish tone cast by some unseen light source that's very dim. Above the fallen city of Elturel, you stand on a broken, half-tilting landscape that shifts underneath your feet with occasional rumbles and earthquakes. You are on the suspended city, or rather, you're under the suspended city of Elturel. Here, you have found yourself as unwilling saviors, or certainly at least unwilling guests. And there's been a bunch of refugees that you've not murdered, so hey, that's something. Careful, guys.
It's something.
Your alignment may end up changing. I don't know.
Really?
Probably not. So you find yourself in this city hovering over the massive blood red river that splits this landscape. You're several hundred feet in the air, probably about 500 feet up above the water, and the city is just these two half-broken, almost disconnected islands slowly rocking back and forth as these massive iron chains and these massive spikes dig into the sides of it on the edges of the city and start cranking it down. But you can't, you've found yourself underground at the moment. You're deep beneath the cemetery where you have just met an unlikely ally? Cmdr Pederson. She went into the crypts, presumably to find this Helm of Pelor's sight, and wasn't heard
Seems
from.
to have found it.
She now wears it as her unconscious form dangles off of Benkuhm's shoulder. It's got her flung over one shoulder. Should we rip this thing off? He kind of reaches over and pulls her head, and just the helm is not latched in any way, but it is just not coming off as her head is dangling to one side.
Yes, it didn't seem to work previously. Seems like it's causing quite a bit of pain, but I'm not entirely sure what sort of solution we can hope for at the moment. I would like to do a little bit more study if I can, but well, this passage leads back to the cathedral. I should probably head back there first before we do anything else.
I agree. Let's get back there first.
So you could
then
go
we can
back
figure
the way
out.
you came, which is back up through the crypt and into the cemetery, past the unlikely guardian of this place, who is busy assembling undead warriors and muttering to himself about fiends. You passed Gideon Lightward above.
Let's just leave him to his insanity.
And, okay, so you have also found a secret passage that, according to the mason marks etched into the wall, because you're a deep gnome, it does say that it heads back to the cathedral, which is a pretty far distance across the city.
Yeah.
I'm interested at least checking it out. I think it could be very useful as opposed to trying to avoid things up top.
Well, all right then. I guess I'll get it open for you then, says Archibald. He walks over. Oh, did he already open it? I should probably watch
told me that I opened it. Maybe you said it was trivial to open. I don't know.
Oh, right. So he kind of nudges it, and you've already opened it. He's like, "Oh, you're welcome." He goes back and pulls a little flask out of his pouch and takes a little nip, tucks it back underneath his now fairly grubby yellow lilac actually colored jacket.
There's lilac, yeah.
That's
I drew that up before I knew what it was.
That's all good.
Do I see anything?
I haven't bothered to update it.
You see a passageway extending out in front of you for about 10 feet, and then it does a 90-degree arc to the left. The passageway, the ground is thick with dust. It doesn't appear like there's any footprints. It's any kind of it really looks like it hasn't been used in some time.
Okay, so I'll just turn to Darmita. Same as always, you first, but I'll go second this time. Benkuhm could be in the middle.
All right.
Okay.
Benkuhm turns and accidentally clocks what's-her-name's head on the wall.
As I kind of go forward to take the lead, I just kind of eye Benkuhm as I'm walking past him.
Do an insight check for me.
Okay.
I feel I should reiterate, because I have a personal attachment to this character, that Henrietta is not a slight woman. She's kind of built like an ox, overweight, like isn't really gonna sit that casually on a shoulder, despite being he's a Goliath. I'm not saying he can't do it, but just to keep in mind for your all mental pictures of this.
Yeah, she's not small.
This is not King Kong and whoever.
Well, given his size, it might approach that a little bit, but for anyone else, she would be difficult to haul for sure. All right, so what was your insight roll? I kind of missed that one.
14.
Oh, okay. You take a good look at Benkuhm, and he did get wounded in the last battle and lost some blood to that Nalfishni. But often after a battle, he seems exhilarated. You've seen him. You flash back to like when you used to be a brigand in the woods. One time, one of the Knights of Pelor almost cut his arm off. Like it was dangling by tendons, and he was so pumped up on the rage that he was laughing as the brigand healer was busy trying to like stitch things back together, and he was like. He revels in battle even when he takes a beating. He is oddly distracted. Doesn't seem excited.
So I've just actually got a text from Trent giving me some directive on playing him tonight.
Nice.
And you're pretty in line with that. My guidance is Great Weapon Master plus Reckless Attack and Silent Brooding.
Perfect. All right, thanks, Trent. We miss you, and hopefully you can join us again soon. All right, so that's what you get for your 14. That's what you get for being nosy. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do, or just head down?
gonna head down. I'm gonna actually just make sure my sea invisibility should still be up.
Oh,
Probably. It's
yeah, it's an hour.
It lasts an hour.
It lasts an hour,
I think we've
so
only
sure.
been about
So yeah,
It's been a while, but
yeah,
not that far. It's been
noted.
about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to note.
Pretty dark down
Mhm.
here. If I'm ahead, 25, 30 feet,
It is
pretty much the person who can see me would be then Gordon.
Yeah, that's fair. Everyone else, as the Gloomstalker Ranger goes forward, you lose sight of her, and she gone. You just
So as we walk down this tunnel, you say it's long since last used. What is the state of it? Is it like pretty sort of
Well, Elturel took a beating.
status from time, or is it like got vermin and stuff? What do my druid brain pick up on?
What does my druid eyes see? You see no tracks, which is a little bit odd, given it's a tunnel underneath. It must be really well sealed. That said, it does look like a couple of pebbles have been displaced as you go. As you start walking your way down, you do notice at first there's no disturbance, like it's been sealed up for a very long time. And after a little while, you see a little bit of rubble on the ground, a little crack in the ceiling. You see some evidence of the dust still kind of just... you don't know if it's the passage of you guys kicking it up. It's hard to tell, but it does look like it hasn't been used in a while. But there's nothing out of the ordinary otherwise. It is finished stone. Nothing, I mean, it's very, very old, and, mortar has chipped away over time, but yeah.
Oh, great. So not something that has animalian life or...
It doesn't seem
anything
like that. No.
Cool. Any plant life? Like mold or anything?
Just some mold
Fungus?
and fungus here and there. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Cool.
All right. So you carry on like this in the tunnel for quite a while. Can I get a perception check from two people?
Ooh.
Sure, I'll go for it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say which two. I didn't realize that was the end of the sentence.
So yeah, I'm doing one. Well,
16.
hot crap. I'm 10.
All right. So really, it's looking pretty good. Darmita, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. If anything, it's a lot easier than traveling on the above ground, where you have to worry about random devils and that sort of thing, or possibly even demons passing by. Fenris, with yours, you do pick up the smell of fresh air a little bit ahead. Fresher air. It's stank with sulfur and other things, but yeah, that's the basics.
But it's in line with where we're heading to, right?
Yeah, it's ahead of you. The tunnel doesn't seem to fork or change or anything. You're going this way for quite a while.
Okay.
As you are nearing about above ground, it took over an hour to get here, or around an hour, trying to be stealthy and careful. At about the 25-minute mark, walking through the tunnel, it's been ascending and descending at different points. You do notice at this point you can smell the sulfur getting closer, and you, Fenris in particular, pick up a sound ahead.
Okay, I'm going to just motion to Darmita.
Sure.
And I'll creep up next to her and just whisper, sound ahead.
And I'll just kind of look in the direction and try to be a little more alert.
And I'm going to hide. I'm going to start stealthing.
Sure.
From this way forward.
Can I get stealth checks from everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be thinking now. Okay.
Archibald turns back to Philees, is like, yes, love.
not so great with me.
Speaking of Archie, do you want me to roll for everyone or just like wave the NPC folk?
Yeah, I roll for.
Yeah, can Bela
Benkuhm.
roll for Benkuhm, and Darcy can roll for Archie. Is that a 19? Oh, okay. That was Philees who rolled a 19?
I got a good die roll.
And then not.
I
no, that was Benkuhm, sorry. Benkuhm got the 9.
I'm just trying to, I'm trying to get to...
Benkuhm turns
Archie.
to Philees and says, "Would you just be quiet?" And botching his, except totally helping Philees to be quiet. And Archie rolled a 22, so he is a ghost.
23.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are quiet and you keep going forward. After a little while, the air, you hear a wind sound ahead, and you can hear rocks kind of shifting a little bit. And at one point, you hear a slight kind of, the whole place is rocking ever so slightly, the whole tunnel even. You can just make out the feeling of the island of Elturel floating, and it shifts ever so slightly, and you hear rocks start to give way, and up ahead you see some rocks go, but they don't seem to hit the ground. They just fall past you.
Falling.
Yeah,
Okay,
and they just
gotcha. Okay.
and it is pretty dark. Can I get I'll keep the perception check before. Fenris, it seems like the tunnel continues ahead, but there's a section directly in front of you that something's weird about it. You can't quite make it out yet.
I'll just tap on Darmita and point at the floor. Just if there's rocks going down, maybe some of the floor has fallen away as well.
Yeah, and seeing that, not hearing them landing, I'm gonna be kind of because it's terrain potentially and possibly danger terrain. Would I be able to do something with my survival to
Sure, you can roll survival.
figure out, like, is there a natural trap here or something like that?
Sure, go ahead and roll survival.
While she does that, I'm going to actually cast Mage Hand.
Sure.
And I'm going to use the hand to kind of feel away on the ground and like the area,
That's
whether
good.
it's a trap or whether like the there's no floor, right? So like ahead of us.
So as you approach this, it was just on the edge of not quite what you can see in the tunnel before the kind of angle of it descends, or begins to ascend again. So as you get a little bit closer, you notice it at about 60 feet. And then as you get a little closer, 40 feet, 30 feet, you can see ahead there is a crack on both sides of the tunnel. And it does seem to continue to the floor, and then there's a slight lip, a little raise, and then darkness. For probably a good 30-foot section.
Okay. I mentioned that to Darmita. I don't know how well you...
As you get close, you all see this at this point.
okay.
And I believe one of you had a slight light source.
Benkuhm's carrying a rock with a
with a light, yeah.
Right. So Benkuhm kind of opens his fist a little bit, and a little hint of light creaks out of the rock that's lit, and you can just make out the edge of a crack in the floor. That it wasn't intentional. It definitely looks like it's been collapsed. You'll have to get closer to see what's further down, but it definitely opens up, and it's a good 30 feet wide to the other side where the tunnel seems to continue. There's parts of the wall at the base have also fallen away. It seems to widen a little bit as it descends.
So with the 24, am I able to kind of discern where it becomes, how close we can get to that kind of edge threshold before it becomes dangerous?
Absolutely. And in fact, Archibald, who wants to go up and take a look, he starts walking forward, and it looks safe for that other, I think I said 30 feet until you get to the edge. So he starts walking towards the edge, and you read you notice the cracks in the floor and the slope. And as he steps, maybe 10 feet in front of you, you see a little rock start shifting underneath his foot, and you kind of rush forward and grab his cloak. It is unstable for the next, 20 feet before the lip.
Okay, so I just grab him and say, watch it. And I kind of jerk him back.
Philees, are you able to create another bridge?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm not entirely sure. If we can find another way, that would be preferable. It is quite it's a task.
As you go toward the
tunnel, by the way, is about 15 feet wide.
Okay.
10 to 15, it varies a little.
Is that kind of gap, that 30 or so foot gap, is that along equally from
pretty much perpendicular to the direction the tunnel goes, maybe a slight angle, and it looks like the ground underneath has just collapsed and fallen away. And you can see some cracks up and around the ceiling as well, but it's not as damaged above. As you inspect the ceiling, you do see that there are some crevices that extend upwards. It's not as wide above. It looks like this whole section was probably a bit higher and then just gave, and the bottom opened up and the top is cracking and shifting a little bit.
So I'm gonna look at Fenris and be like, just so we can kind of save on, resources, what do you think if I kind of take, one end of a rope and go over to the other side ahead of you and try to tie that off? And do you think there's somewhere over here we could tie that off to kind of help us get across? Maybe we could even possibly do 2 ropes, so it's kind of like something we could.
Benkuhm's like, one high, one low.
I like that, yeah. What do you think? Because I can activate my boots and go over there. That shouldn't be too big of a problem.
Yeah, that could work. We could probably, if Philees doesn't have, wants to conserve on the resources, if it's difficult, then yeah, let's do that. If you're able to fly over with a rope, we can tie it off on both ends, or maybe 2 ropes even, like you said.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
This is
do 2.
Well, this is being discussed. I want to see as close as I can get. What's down?
Okay, so do a perception check for me.
Okay, so we look down and it just gets eventually it gets past our dark vision. Is that the idea? It's.
I already used 1 big spell last game on the thing. I don't know if I want to do it again.
On what?
On the Naufnishi or whatever the heck it's called.
Whatever that thing is that I kind of push through. And
You love pushing things through portals.
yeah, I know, it's fun.
Fair enough.
All right.
Perception?
Yes, please.
What is my perception? 22.
Okay, you get a little bit closer to the edge and kind of.
I'm looking at the rock work and
You actually-
where does this go? It's got to go somewhere.
Being smaller, you can actually get a little bit closer than everybody else. So you get within about 10 feet of the edge, and you're pretty solid.
Right.
You're not feeling worried about it. And you look
Forward step.
as best you can over the edge, and it extends down into darkness, but right where it's more about angles than distance. It does appear to have a little flicker of reddish light below. It seems like it's pretty far below, and there's probably some kind of angle, a little bit of an open passage cave or something.
Right.
And it seems to extend pretty vertically at this point. If anything, it looks like this might be part of the like a wider section that hasn't actually collapsed yet, but it does seem pretty uneven. You kind of look upwards, and after a little while, your eyes do adjust. You can just make out a little sound, actually, of a crackle of that lightning that was coming off of the companion, the black orb that is suspended above that ended up bringing Elturel here. So
this is going like all the way down to the bottom of the island, basically, and then I can sort of make out the sticks below, but like I can't really tell it's what it is. I can just infer.
You infer that
cool.
It's outdoor light flickering below.
Yeah. How big is this tunnel? Like, if I tried to turn into like
it's
a bird or something,
at this point, it's about 15 feet wide, and it's about 30. Well, from where you are, it's 40 feet to the other side.
Okay. Yeah. So that's not really feasible. Okay.
Oh,
cool.
I mean, depends on what you choose to turn into. A giant owl would probably be able to fly in here, but a giant eagle would have a harder time.
Interesting. Cool.
Just thinking off of like common polymorph.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so Darmita readies herself, gets the ropes. Benkuhm sets. Actually, he keeps hold of her and just kind of pulls out some rope and passes it to you. And he also, being a mountainous Goliath, he passes you a hammer and a piton. What do you call those things?
Python.
Yeah, and
that's what I.
Yeah, he passes you that and says, "Yeah, okay. We're no good dead, so let's do this right."
All right, then let's do it. And I take my end of the rope, wait for them to secure down theirs.
Yep.
Activate my
bang, 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 echoing in the hall, and some of the stones dislodge. What?
And yeah, I'm gonna start heading cautiously over.
Absolutely. So you activate the little wing embossed boots, go, and you fly across. Go ahead and do an either athletics or acrobatics check for me.
I will take acrobatics, thank you very much. 19.
Nice. Doesn't seem to give you much trouble. You over to the other side. You're hovering over the lip at this point. You can set down here. You can keep flying a little ways if you want.
Yeah, if I can just continue with that earlier check, I'm just gonna kind of gauge where I believe that either the wall or the ground becomes more stabilized.
For sure. Judging by what you saw on the other side, you know that right near this is probably fairly unstable. You might be wise to keep going a little bit further. It is a 50-foot rope, so you only really get about 10 feet.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you guys want to start tying ropes together.
I think all that happens while I'm like looking at things and inspecting stonework and just being my inquisitive self. And I sort of turn back and I'm just like, all right, I think I am ready. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do a wild shape. I think I'm gonna sort of ball myself up a bit. And a lot of how I like to think of the sort of more flying wild shapes are more like myself is still contained within this, like previously when I did Giant Eagle, it was like moving wind and stuff that making up the shape of the eagle, and I'm still like floating within there. I'm like part of it. But
because you're elemental more than
but this time we see like smoke start to pour off of me and form into this like sort of more compact shape of a giant bat.
Nice.
And I'm still just sort of like this ball within it, and then there's this bat shape of like these like smoke.
You have this unnatural sense.
And these like little like fires like go off in the eyes, like embers floating in the smoke. Yeah.
Archie is like, oh, good. All right then. And yeah, so you can fly across no problem.
Make little pings. Yeah. I like sort of like flap.
Sure, go ahead and do a perception check for me. You just got a whole new sense.
I do now have echolocation, which mechanically just means that if I'm deaf, I lose my blind sight. Actually, no, it's blind sight, not just dark vision. So that is significant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I still could use my own stats for mental, so that should be fine. I don't have to worry about what those.
Darmita, can I get you to do an athletics check to see how well you anchor that thing you do?
14.
Well, hot sugar.
Or if you're proficient in climbing.
I am not.
Not that that's even an option in this, I don't think. So, yep, athletics it is.
Seen it, so. Okay. Oh.
That's a 6. All right. Ting, ting, ting. You hit the. You've got it in 2 strikes, and then rather than risk hitting your hand, you leave it in and you hit it with the hammer, and it pinions it right out of the ground. And because it's tied to a heavy rope, the whole thing just starts sliding towards the edge. You can try to make a grab for it if you like, or just let it go.
I'm gonna try.
Dexterity saving throw, please.
All right. Fuck. Where the hell is my... That's weird. It's not...
Oh, is it not letting you?
No, it was just taking a little while for the... It was lagged.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting lots of lag today, too. All right, so okay, 19. You catch it, no problem, and you're even using the wings to just take your weight off of the ground a little bit. So you're very light steps in your grab, almost hovering. So very little weight is on the actual ground below you, and you just pull the rope back. Let's give it one more try on the athletics check. The DC is now higher.
Yeah, this time I'm gonna before I do it, I'm just gonna run my hand along the ground looking for a divot or something in the landscape that maybe I can get more of a
little more purchase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and roll athletics.
Man, I blow at that.
It's hard to acrobatics a hammer in to secure the python.
Oh,
I thought this was survival. I'm sorry.
Darcy does make a good point.
I think she already rolled.
She did roll.
So keep the same roll and change the modifier. You have like a 12 now.
Here's what happens. Was that a nat 1? I know it came up to a 3. Oh, okay.
No, a 0. So it's a hard 3.
Okay, so you hit the hammer, and this time you're like, I'm gonna hold this thing so it doesn't go wrong. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna let you roll survival, but there is a complication here, so sort of Shadowrun style. I'll tell you what it is in a second. Go ahead and roll survival this time to see how well you anchor it.
I was gonna roll Benkuhm's character. Whoopsie.
I wonder how long this is taking and if anyone else is doing anything during it.
Oh no.
Well, the dice have spoken. So 2 things happen. Number 1, you hit the hammer and you're like, I'm not gonna let go. I'm gonna keep this thing stable, and it shifts just a little bit at the last second, and you pound on your thumb, like pound on your thumb with a hammer. You're gonna take... I've done this recently. Oh, and I rolled max damage. 8 damage to your thumb as you might have just broken your frickin' thumb. So that's the first complicating factor. The second thing is that you yell a cry and start sucking, like just wincing with your thumb, and the rope and the python just go and down over the edge, and there's this racket of like ting 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 as the metal thing starts bouncing all the way down. There's sounds all around, echoing around, and the rope goes taut. Actually, it doesn't quite lose all of it. There's still a couple of coils on the little coil on the far side near Benkuhm, but it is hanging straight down and it's made a racket.
Wow, that was an epic fail.
The giant bat, however, lands next to you and squeaks at you.
I'll just kind of reach over and scratch her head. And more.
I'm made out of smoke and embers. I'm not a nice little furry thing.
I know.
Probably wouldn't throw her off too much. All right, does anybody else have any good ideas?
I will bend down so people think to maybe get on my back. I
don't
know what else to do.
All right, so you go back. And you bend down.
Play across.
I'm sorry. I thought you had. You scoot your bottom over to Archibald, and he's like, "This thing is, all right." He bends down and kind of hugs this semi-corporeal smoke bat.
Yeah, if you prefer, I could pick him up in little claw things.
No, he's gonna try and hug you and hang on and be like, "If I die."
Yeah, I imagine like on the outside of the smoke is probably kind of weirdly cushiony, but still like.
Yeah, it does hit substance, and you are a giant bat after all, so you are somewhat decent sized, but he is pretty big. I mean, as a medium-sized human. How big are the giant bats? Are they medium or large?
Giant bats are large. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The same size as a giant owl, so I figured it would be.
Nice. All right, so he clambers on and puts a dagger in his teeth, and is like, all right, I hope this works. Okay, go ahead and make either acrobatics or athletics.
Sure. Okay. That seems reasonable. Let me just bring up what my bat stats are for those stats. All right. And I don't think I have training in either of those. So just I'm just going to choose something that has an appropriate modifier, which happens to be, oddly enough.
Or you can just do straight strength.
Weirdly enough, has the right value.
All right, so the bat goes scurrying forward, and Archibald's like, all right, let's do this. And you guys leap off the side and whew.
What happens?
You're falling with Archie on your back.
That's weird. Okay. I mean, I choose to fly. I have a fly speed. There's no roll for that.
Yeah,
but I just do it. I don't know what you want from me.
You rolled a 7. So he proved to be
I rolled a 7 to walk.
Yeah. He proves a little bit too heavy and unexpected, holding on in uncomfortable ways. So you're like, oh, but don't hold my wing
lift capacity. Like,
you are able to go, but very slowly, and you've descended off of the edge.
Yeah, totally. That's the scene, right? It's like slowly trying to struggle against the weight.
Yeah, you're flapping away and just slowly, you get to about halfway across at this point.
Okay.
All right.
Do I see this? They're all struggling. Annoying.
You walk a little bit closer to see. You can't actually see them from where you are.
So...
Annoying. Okay, forget it. I actually say annoying, and I cast telekinesis.
All right. As you summon and do the arcane motions with your hands, there's just this vibration in the air, and the dust kind of comes out from between a few rocks and settles around, and you have telekinesis. What do you want to do with it? I
grab Archibald.
Okay.
Gently.
You grab him, and his feet kind of lift off. He's still hanging onto the bat.
Off the bat. And then I just kind of move him across to the other side next to Darmita.
All right, so they're now moving at full speed, and you just assist them over to the side.
I'll do the same thing for Benkuhm, and then also for Hen, and I'll go last.
Okay, so you want to do them separately?
And
I will do them separately.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what was that,
Sorry,
Darmita?
Bela?
Is it just us down there, or I can't remember if we have everybody else with us?
We went back at the.
I think it was just you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was also going to say, I was just wondering, while I see Philees doing that, it kind of gives me an idea. And I'm wondering, using the rules as written, we're allowed to carry up to 15 times our strength.
Somewhere between 10 and
That's
15.
including your equipment, though.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
10 without any penalty.
If I were to take my, because I don't have heavy armor or anything like that, I'm pretty.
So if you put your pack with rations down
and go back over, I could carry up to 165 pounds theoretically.
Okay.
But you don't need to do that. And the reason why is that I'm ferrying everyone across.
Okay.
You put your
my
pack
carrying
down, you
capacity
turn
right
around,
now
you
is
crack
1,000.
your neck, getting ready to do this, and you look over and you see Benkuhm, whoa, 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 and just coming right at you. He barrels into you, and you set him down. Okay.
I'll do Henrietta next.
A few seconds later, you
And then
lift up Henrietta. She's halfway across.
Henrietta.
3/4. No, Henrietta.
Henrietta, Philees is floating
She's
across.
her unconscious form is levitating. She's almost as heavy as Benkuhm in terms of you spending the weight to do it.
No problem.
Yeah, it's within your weight limit, but you find that interesting. She's that solid. Plus, she's in plate mail.
Yeah.
It's a plate mail, yeah.
And so you get her to the far side, and Benkuhm catches her, and now you're the only one left.
I'll levitate across.
All right, just the shadows just wrap around your arms and legs and just lift you across. And you go out across this thing, and you look down, and the rope extends and kind of coils and goes out of sight. You get across to the other side. The rest of you turn around, and Benkuhm's like, "Hey, you forgot the rope."
I'll retrieve the rope with my...
You reach over to get it, and before you do that, you notice the coil just go... It's now taut.
It's taut.
It's either...
Is it attached to anything?
Okay, I'm going to start... I'm actually going to say it. It's taut, a little confused. And I'm going to use my telekinesis to start pulling it towards us slowly.
After a little resistance, as the python on the other side gives way, and you can levitate it too.
That's what I was wondering about. I was like, how could it be taut?
And then,
But okay, it's on a python.
Sorry, forgot to mention Ben. No, I think I mentioned Benkuhm pounded it in.
You might have, yeah.
So as you're bringing this across, there is definite weight on this thing. And
Yeah, I'm going to say there's something holding on to this.
and you start
Just
pulling it
be
towards
ready.
you, and it starts pulling back a little bit and resisting, and just it's a little game of tug of war. Go ahead and make an Arcana check if you want.
Sure.
My equipment back on.
Yep.
At least my bow.
No problem. You get fully geared up. No problem.
Is it, is it an Arcana check, or am I rolling the telekinesis kind of...
It's the telekinesis ability check. Hey, Syntax
check.
Singularities.
Hey.
Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in.
Okay.
We're doing some Dungeons and Dragons in a tunnel, in a dark chasm. That's not sarcasm. It's dark chasm.
11.
11. It's pull. Let me roll and see. Let the dice speak. Let the dice speak.
Oh.
All right, so it does give you some force, and you start pulling it up, and it's not letting go. You keep pulling for quite a while, and it's 50 feet, 40, 30, 20. It's really tight over the edge of the lip, though, so you can't really see what's down there.
I don't care to either. I just want to pull it up and just see what it is. So that's a good.
Oh, you're going to pull it to the middle?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I don't want to just pull it right to me.
You move it further away and dangle it up, and you pull this thing up, and there is that? It's this reddish furred arm out of the darkness, and it's big. And then you look down, and it's attached to this freaking gorilla-looking creature with this strange-looking, twisted, angry face. Has been climbing up this rope, and as you clear it and you see it, it turns its head, and it just snarls at you. I don't know if you've ever seen a Bulgara. I'm probably mispronouncing that.
I'd pronounce it.
Bulgara. It's a demon dangling on the end of this rope.
Okay.
What do you want to do, Darmita? You pulled it up. That's your action, Fenris, for now. This is kind of a surprise situation.
Yep.
So it's kind of dangling in the middle of this chasm area.
Yeah. It's 15 feet into the middle. Probably about 20 from where you're 25 from where you're standing.
Can I look to see if it beyond hanging on for... Does it look like it's hanging on for dear life kind of thing?
It's definitely holding on to this rope tight with one hand and kind of... And it looks like it's seen you guys, and it's very interested in it's very strong. It's a large creature, and it's holding on to this rope with one hand. Seems pretty comfortable.
Look like beyond, if we brought it over, it could get to us, but beyond that, on its own, it couldn't get to us?
It's a large creature, so it's hard to tell.
Okay, screw that. Hunter's mark.
All right, it's marked.
And yeah, I'm gonna take shots.
Nice. Go ahead and make your rolls. Benkuhm looks up and is like, "What?" Grabs the unconscious form of Henrietta by the back of the plate mail and just hefts her like a suitcase. And then with his other hand, he pulls out his axe.
Okay.
Philees, what do you want to do? While she's resolving.
They should just drop him and he'll fall back down.
Okay, you squeak that at them. They don't seem to understand.
Yeah.
And with a 24, that's a hit. And it is an ambush, technically, so you do get your third.
Surprised by this?
Okay.
It's like inverse fishing. You've pulled him up and now you have access. Or he's fishing for you, you're not sure. So 13 becomes 19, becomes 28 damage.
Hold on.
Oh, is there
Hold
more?
on. Oh, yeah.
The hunter's mark.
Oh, right. 3 times. Oh, 28 becomes 40 even. Just 3 arrows. Just... Nice. All right. It hits it and the thing just roared.
Getting better at like quickly snapping in and out.
Hotkeys, baby. All right. Archibald's like, "Dear God, what is that?" And he readies a dagger. Philees, what do you want to do? You're watching?
Yeah, let's say that, because if I'm relying on my hearing, and I would be because I'm using echolocation, I should be sitting at 21 passive.
Oh yeah, you can
get advantage on a roll that's passive. You get +5. So.
All right, so passive, you hear the roar, and a few seconds later, it almost is an echo, but it's not an echo. You hear another one from further down.
Sure.
Pretty far down, though. You're the only one who seems to... Well, it's hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
All right. Top of the order, Fenris. What are you going to do?
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Sure.
We will get you in the game eventually, Carl. I promise.
I so thought you were going to say that they were on the other end. I thought it'd be so funny.
That would be the easiest. I probably should have done that.
What are you doing down there?
This is the first time I've rolled pretty good on initiative in quite some time.
All right, let's see. You want me to roll for everybody here? Let's go.
Yep.
All right, this one is Philees.
Crappy for Darmita. Let me see what Benkuhm is.
And then Archie. There it is. And natural 20.
Oh, 27
And
for
let me roll
Archibald.
for Benkuhm.
Holy. But Darmita already rolled for Benkuhm, or Bela already
You
rolled
did?
for.
Okay, great.
All right, top of the order, Archibald. Do you want me to do him?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, Archie's like, oh hell no! Whips a dagger.
Okay.
The DC for
I
him to
assume he
hit
does not have a
is
sneak attack. Yeah.
it off into the dark. He does have a second, so he's gonna whip that as well.
Okay.
Oh, that hits.
Mhm.
Barely what he's aiming at, doing max damage. He's like, oh hell no! Whips it, misses, throws the other one, and hits the rope just above where the hand is on, and the Bulgara just
Well played, sir.
as it falls, begins falling. Fenris, the rest of the rope, it's now a 40-foot rope, easily retracts over to your side. You hear the Bulgara grabbing at the walls further down, and it's fallen, but it doesn't sound like it fell very far.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, above where the Balrog was is like rocks, I guess, in the ceiling.
There is a crack, probably about 5 feet wide, that ascends upwards, and it's the width of the cavern of the tunnel, and it's about 5 feet wide at its widest point, and it keeps going up into darkness. Your perception check.
And then also, yeah. And then there was also kind of stones, kind of like at the lip of where it fell, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not gonna like try to risk
And the
bringing down
ground
the entire
seems
ceiling.
pretty unstable the closer to the edge of the crack.
So I'm just gonna actually basically, with the ground that's unstable close to the crack where the Balruga was kind of maybe clawing at the sides, if it's still there, I'm just gonna start using my telekinesis to just start pushing it off.
Oh, just start bashing the ground and like causing
yeah,
more.
exactly, like causing it to
Nice.
like more to slide off.
Go ahead and make your ability check, please. Nice.
Sure. Natural 20, 25.
Oh, you just start slamming this side, and you're like, hey, whatever, I'll slam the other side too. Both sides start chipping back. A section 3 feet, then 5 feet. Now it's almost 8 feet of what used to be path starts to dislodge and shift, and just basically that was the trap. And if any of you had walked on there, it would have. You've now caused an avalanche, and you hear these furious roars from below, and you hear the fists hitting the sides of the chasm as it's clawing to try and stay on, as this now in an avalanche kind of situation. It needs to do a dex save versus that natural trap. All right, you can't see it from the angle you're at, but you can hear the roars get a little bit further away. It's not totally gone, but it definitely goes from being right up in your grill, maybe about 10 or 15 feet down from the lip. Now it sounds more like it's about 30.
And I'm gonna back away.
Yeah, you've definitely bought yourself some time. Benkuhm just is like, all right, let's go, and just starts running.
Let's go.
Anybody else want to do anything before you go? Anybody want to
follow people?
All right. Everybody else decides to book it. As you all leave away, you can leave the echoing Bulgara cries in the background, and you continue on your passage.
Before Darmita turns to run, can I look to see if this looks close to, like, how injured it is?
Unfortunately, you'd have to get... Well, you've got your wings. You can fly over the lip and take a look down if you want.
I would like to kind of try to get a gauge of how close to death this looks, because I marked this bitch, and...
You want to finish him. You're a fiend hunter. Yep.
That's an 8-hour mark, so I don't want to just leave it there.
That's fair.
I'm just saying.
So you kind of Tinkerbell over to the side a little bit and look down, and it's a good 45, maybe 50 feet down and rubble and just clawing at the sides, and it tries to climb up, and then it's... And like one of its legs is pretty banged up by the look of it, and it's got like a boulder on it. It angrily shoves it off to one side. It turns down and looks further down and goes below him by about maybe 30 feet below him. You see another Bulgara just beginning to climb up the sides, and a couple of rocks coming to rain down on it, and it angrily. There are two of them down there.
Yeah.
It doesn't... I mean, they are buckets of hit points. He's wounded, but he's not close to death.
Motherfuck.
On the plus side, you'll know where he is for a while.
Yeah.
It is helpful, because they're probably going to try and follow.
All right. What do you...
What'd you say, Darce?
So it's helpful knowing where they are, because they're probably going to try and follow us.
Oh, absolutely. I may get that hunter's mark back eventually.
Yeah.
I'm booking.
Yep. All right. With your fly speed and running speed, you catch up, no problem. All right, you guys continue on for quite a while. You're approaching about the 45-minute mark from when you entered the tunnel, maybe an hour. It's a little hard to track time down here exactly. There doesn't seem to be any other problems along the way, and up ahead, it looks like a stone wall, just extending straight across.
Do I still have my telekinesis in the last 10 minutes?
You're right on the end of it. You probably have about like a minute, maybe less.
So I'm just going to start using it to kind of feel the wall to see if there's anything to give purchase. Like
on one hand,
pushing.
you got your mage hand.
Yeah,
it's like and then wham,
wham. Yeah, exactly. Basically, just to see if there's any kind of give.
Sure. The mage hand doesn't have any effect as the telekinesis slams into it. The whole wall goes and a dust settles, and you can make out that it gives a little bit in the center. Just a little bit, perhaps along a crack or something. Philees comes. I'm assuming you're keeping your wild shape, or are you gonna come back?
Yeah, I'll probably let it go like in this scene.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to narrate whatever you were gonna say.
Well, I was just gonna say you kind of fly/scurry up close enough to see this wall, and you immediately, being a deep gnome and very experienced in stonework, this appears to be the exit.
Yeah, I'll like let out some echoes and see if I can feel out where things are while I have the sense. And then probably
go ahead, do
drop it after
do
that.
a blind sight check or a perception check for me. Actually, if it's hearing, you get advantage.
I do get advantage. All right, perception. 21.
Nice. All right. This definitely has a hollow chamber on the other side of the door. You can kind of make that out. And behind you, pretty far back at this point, you guys made good time. And but there is the and Darmita would know this because of the 8-hour hunter's mark. The Bulgars are following, and you do hear little echoes of their kind of calling back and forth to each other. Darmita, you can tell that they were for quite a while stymied by that chasm. But at this point, it feels like they're about level with you now. So they'll be in the tunnel and moving this way.
I will sort of like drop down so that I'm like on the ground, and the smoke like falls and then like blows away, just like off of me and leaving my like body like balled up down there. So I stand up. All right. Yes, this is the way out, but well, we do have company, and it might be better to fight them here than let them wander around on the other side of this wall.
Agreed.
Unless we should go through and then bottom line, I don't know. It's whatever you want.
Yeah.
Two of the combatants here.
All right.
Fenris, 2 of them, and they're on their way. They shouldn't be too long before they reach us. I think it might be better if we do fight them at this point, rather than we don't know what's on the other side of there, and we don't know what potentially we can bring them to. So,
All right.
at least have a bit more
It
control
is
here.
pretty narrow in here. It's about 15 feet across, and about the same high. So it's somewhat of a bottleneck.
I just, I nod my head. Okay, let's take care of these guys.
All right, you plant your heels, you turn around and get ready. Anything you want to do to be ready for them? Benkuhm puts Henrietta down in a corner.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, as I punched my microphone.
I probably do actually like go look at the wall so that I'm ready to open it. Like I'm like trying to find how I actually would, so that I can do it as an action instead of
Sure
having
thing.
to investigate later.
Let's have you do a investigation check.
Cool. Sure, I finagled my way into a better roll last time, but I will not push because that is completely unnecessary here. All right, investigation. 14.
Okay. It takes a little while, but you do figure out how it opens.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's all I want to do. I want to
Yeah,
be ready.
it wasn't particularly difficult. It's just
Yeah, it's the getting in that's supposed to be hard. Getting out of a secret tunnel is usually pretty trivial.
yeah, exactly. So, so this one you can open it at will. Do you want to open it now or in a little while?
No.
Okay.
So I am like order-wise, I'm like back there so that I'm ready to if we need to like, okay, now let's go, right? And if I think it's going to take like several rounds to open, maybe I'll start working on it. I don't know.
No, it feels like it could be done pretty quick.
Just like shink.
Yeah, and that shouldn't give you much trouble. Archibald kind of blends into the shadows, and even though you guys know he's there, you almost lose track of him because he's just that frickin' quiet and hugging the darkness. Hug the darkness.
Yeah.
Tonight is
So
brought to
for
you by
me-
hugging the darkness. Have
For
you hugged
me,
your
I'm going
darkness
to-
today?
How wide is
It's about 15,
the quarter
10,
15
15 feet across, yeah. You did pass one section that was slightly more, a little bit wide, but nothing really of note before. I'm just going
Was there
to...
anything that was thinner that a large creature might have difficulty getting through?
There was a section where... well, here, let me just pull you into it. Hold on, I'm going to jump you guys a few maps. This is not where you are yet.
Nice.
That would work. But I
Because if we can force them into a squeezing position, that's quite advantageous.
Yeah.
And as someone who literally had to walk through here as a large creature, won't fly, but still, might have noticed something.
Yeah, you did notice there was a little bit of a bottleneck. It's not much, but there were a couple of kind of support pillars a little ways
This
back.
is a nothing fight. Like, this is completely just
I know,
Yeah.
but just for the
shock
visual.
troops, so
Yeah.
we shouldn't worry too much about it. Might as
Yeah.
well.
There.
Yeah.
It took a while, but we're here now. So let me know when that loads for you. And you guys are at this end. Well,
we
you can
need to,
position
like-
anywhere you want. Can you guys see it?
Turn off,
It's all black, so you
Oh,
might
it
have to do
is?
something.
Again?
Just turn it off, turn it on again.
Maps.
I did see your
Have it-
ping though.
Have you tried turning it off and turn it on again? Oh, I see why. There we go. All right.
So yeah, 15 feet, and then there's this larger area.
Cool.
All right, so you guys are right at the end. Well, you can position yourself kind of anywhere you want. You've got a couple of minutes before they
This side is the
start to
door,
close
I
on you.
imagine.
Yeah, on the far right is the door.
Okay. I should start populating tokens. Oh, where are my tokens?
Boop, boop. I'm just gonna be behind everybody.
They're coming from this direction.
They're coming from the far
Actually,
left.
door, so.
Okay.
Left on the map is left.
Yeah.
Convenient.
I feel.
Where'd it go?
What would Benkuhm do?
I mean, we suggested kill, and yeah, this is
All
gonna
right.
kill.
As you guys are starting to position, you can kind of place yourselves wherever you want. After a few seconds, you can now hear them coming.
In this, where I'm kind of
Yeah, just like that. Just like that. Archibald is the perfect sound effects machine.
Yeah, Archie is going. Somebody walking outside.
Yeah, that's fair. We can pause here if you want for a sec and come back after you, or just. It's up to you guys.
Oh, good. Let's continue on. We can finish this pretty quickly.
All
I
right.
think everyone just preps an attack and Alpha Strike ready. Yeah.
All right. So you, way down at the end, those of you with really good dark vision can make out movement as the Bulgars start coming down the hall. Oh, there are not buckets of hit points. I thought they were.
No.
All right. Well, the first one is
you know.
definitely more injured than I thought. I'm sorry, Darmita. I thought they had easily over 100. They're not as hefty as I thought.
I was like thinking of asking if Darmita could like make a roll for that, considering she should know these sorts of things. But didn't seem super relevant at the time.
All right.
The moment.
You guys do see them at the end. We're going to keep the initiative roll from before. Archibald stays hidden. Fenris.
Right. I am going to cast. There's just two of them, right?
You can tell, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, why not? Okay. The one that's not injured. I'm going to bonus action cast Hound of Omen. Why not?
All right.
And I am going to let's see what the range is on this. Oh, that's 120 feet.
Oh, you should be able to get him from there then.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, the first one's at about 80 feet. The second one's at 100.
Okay. I'm just casting Hound of Omen, and then I'm going to use Chill Touch.
Nice.
Let me just
Is
check
that
if
an
I can
attack
actually
roll?
reach him.
Or
120 feet. Yeah, it's a ranged spell attack.
okay, make your roll.
$17.
Nice. I believe. Oh, hold on. I'm pretty sure that hits. Let me pull that up. It's in here somewhere. Where did that go? I had that. It is not here. Okay, just give me 1 sec. I'll pull it up on the book.
Sure. Just
All
gonna
right.
roll initiative for Hound of Omen.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yes, it does hit.
Ooh. Okay. and I'll just roll damage.
Yep.
Yeah, 11 points.
Nice. All right. Oh, he is looking pretty rough on inspection at this point, actually.
Well, this is on the one that's not hurt.
Oh, sorry, that other one. My mistake.
Yeah,
It is looking pretty solid still, but it was a decent hit.
Okay.
Alrighty.
That's it for me.
That's it for you. Coming up next, Benkuhm. What do you want Benkuhm to do?
So I feel like Trent would very likely, I'm just looking at his, yeah, he's got 40 feet of speed. So
Chains, baby.
huh?
Chains.
Oh yeah, he's got his chains.
Yeah, I'm hot scared of that.
You don't have to like use them.
Well, he
Because
doesn't have
it's
to-
his heat. That's a good point. He might be.
I feel like he would bonus action rage,
Yep.
go his 40 feet, and then
And what does he
hold-
say?
Darmita, I'm gonna kill these things.
He's like
He run-
drooling in rage and nice. All right, XP
No,
unlocked.
He wouldn't comment to Darmita. He'd probably be like, Hidden Lord, help me with this. And then he'll run forward with his Hidden Lord greatsword and hold a action. He'll attack it.
Only
What-
Benkuhm heard that.
What did he say? I didn't hear it.
Oh, do what you do best.
Yeah, so I'll hold an action until he's within melee range, and then I'll
And then
do
you'll
the-
mess him up. Nice.
yeah, great master, all reckless out, all that shit.
Absolutely. All right, so he's all ready for when they come past. Coming up next, we have.
Did you spend a rage on the sheet, by the way?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm just asking before I take it down twice, that's all.
I haven't yet. No.
Okay, I'm setting it down to 2.
This one runs up to Benkuhm and does see him, and engages with him, but tries to shift around to get over to here, and then turns
Well,
and starts
doesn't get that
swinging.
far, does he?
And starts swinging at Benkuhm. So he hasn't disengaged, but yeah, you do
Well-
get the attack, not of opportunity, but be the held attack.
I'm just looking at which, because he has a 2 categories or 2 things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm taking the second one, the Great Weapon Master one, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it'll be -5 to hit.
All right.
Ooh.
Other effort.
Swing and a miss.
All right.
The sword just clangs against the ground just to the left of this surprisingly agile creature as it leaps and rolls and then comes up and just snarls in his face.
Does he just get the 1 attack?
I think he gets 2. If he was holding his attacks, he would probably get both of them.
Yeah, contention among GMs sometimes.
I mean, either.
I think
Ooh.
he's holding his attacks, so
Yeah,
that's
no,
2.
I think it's fair,
Yeah.
totally. I'm just, it's
11.
worth asking because
This
depending on the
creature,
GM, they'll say something different.
Benkuhm raises the sword above and swings down, and the creature literally just smashes its fist against Benkuhm's elbow, throwing the shot aside. Sort of a parry. All right, coming up next is Darmita. Philees, you're on deck.
All right. Well, Darmita's gonna kind of turn and look at this one here, and she knows she's old hat. She knows her mark, and she's going to take her shots. And this is still considered. Is this considered a new fight, or this
no,
is
this
still...
is the same one.
Yeah.
They know you're here.
Yeah.
They knew this was coming. They were just chasing.
For this. So,
Okay.
hit 1.
I remember you.
Hit 2.
That was an abyssal, by the way. All right. Sorry,
And
she's
20.
watching.
So
Oh,
that's...
the 30 definitely hits. 23 hits.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll
So
your
3
what did we call it?
damage.
23 damage plus 7.
23,
30
damage
damage.
even. You just you get it right in the neck with those 2 shots, and it falls to its knees, growling, and it turns and looks into there, trying to find you in the darkness, but it can't. And its last words are, "Internet, what are the Bulgara's last words in Abyssal?" What do you want? Yeah, he'll say them and we'll move on. All right, one more time. Internet, the final words of the Bulgara are yours in Abyssal. All right, coming up next is the other one roars and charges in, leaving the zone of your wolf if you want to do a attack of opportunity.
Oh, I do.
How is the ceiling in here?
15.
Oh, cool. That makes sense.
Ooh, 22 to hit.
Nice, roll damage. It doesn't have sentinel or anything, right? That would just be broken.
Actually, it's going to have to succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Oh, all right. These things are muscles, so just giant muscles. And rolled a 5. I'm rolling like garbage. Plus it's athletics.
Nope, it's a strength saving throw.
Oh, stone save?
Yeah,
Monsters
DC
never have saving
13.
throws.
It got a 9.
The weakness of all monster stat blocks.
Oh boy.
So it tries to get away, and the hound just digs in its heels and grabs onto its fur, and the thing's like... It actually can't move.
I thought it was knocked prone.
Yeah, it's
Oh, sorry, knocked prone. So it
Yeah, I
trips
just
and
swiped.
falls on its face.
Yeah.
And it growls and then gets up and it spends half its movement getting up.
Yeah, it just loses half movement. So he goes half as far as it was planning on going.
Exactly. So he goes 20 feet.
Okay. And it takes 11 damage.
And it took 11 damage, and it gets next to the other one and looks down at his fallen Bulgara friend who's lying there. And we have the last words from Yaufen. Thank you. The last words of the Bulgara in Abyssal were,
I miss that puppy.
the other one comes rushing up to him and snarls in Benkuhm's face. It does get base to base with Benkuhm, so it's going to take its couple of attacks. Ooh, rolls a nat 1 for one of them, but the other two are... does an 18 hit his AC? This is against
AC.
Benkuhm?
Probably.
Yeah.
16
and
AC.
16?
You
And
probably
the other one is a 14. That misses, so one of them hits.
just yeah. I think though, don't you roll with advantage? Or not? I don't
No,
know.
not in this case.
Oh, he did reckless.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
he
fair
did
enough.
reckless. You're right,
I think
you're
he
right.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. He would have reckless. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me honest. First one still
No
hits.
worries.
Second one still misses. The third one does, however, hit. So that's
Okay.
that's one fist and a bite. So Benkuhm is going to take 20. Altogether 30 points of damage, 20 of which was piercing from the massive jaws and tusks and fangs hanging out of its mouth, of its fiendish mouth, its demonic face, and then massive fists have clubbed him for 10 bludgeoning. So all of that is half to 15 for him.
Okay. So how much is it have to?
It's half to total of 15.
15 total.
15
oh,
total.
15. All right.
It's a bit of a hit.
Down to 60 hit points. I don't know if you're updating the sheet or not.
I was working on that. I was trying to do that math, so thanks for doing it for me.
All right, Philees, it's your turn.
Cool. Yeah, so I will see this. And now this is a different one than I was originally looking at, so I got to remeasure stuff. I'm pretty dang sure that I need to move forward just a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, one thing at a time. I'll skip forward a couple of, squares and pull out that cool rock I use, rub it a little bit. And, burst of fire will appear underneath of it. See if we can catch some of that fur on fire. And it won't do much. Casting bonfire, it's resistant.
Oddly enough, underground still smells a little of sulfur, and now it really stinks of burnt fur and sulfur and piss and rot.
Yeah. So, yep, there is, I guess I can actually figure out exactly where I'm casting it based on range, so that's me. Right here.
I don't think I have a fire icon. Sorry.
That's fine. I mean, the fight's gonna have, like, Benkuhm hit in the face anyway. It's not really relevant damage.
It's true. How much?
So it's a dex save, by the way, yeah. Oh, what is my save? Oh, dang, I never do this.
Oh, natural 1. I'm
nice. I don't have to worry about it.
Fire tonight. Actually, no. The Bulgara's on fire. How much damage?
I'll have to type this in. I don't have this one set up. R2D8.
R2D8?
11.
No, that's Star Wars.
Okay, 11 damage.
11. Nice.
Fire damage, though, so it should be halved.
Oddly enough, no. It takes the full brunt. Oh no, sorry, you're right. It takes half.
Yeah. Not immune, just resistant.
Yeah, exactly.
Canceling out some normal units.
Like most of them. That's why I'm not flinging fireballs.
Yeah. Demons tend to not be as universally immune to fire as devils are, but they're still pretty resistant most of the time.
All right. Okay, up next is Archibald. Actually, hold on. Oh, I dropped. I don't know why I closed that for a second.
I have to double check. How does this one actually work?
Where'd that go? It hates me now. I don't know what happened to the thing.
Okay, yeah, so it's at the end of its turn, it'll take damage again. That's how it works. So
There we
most
go.
likely will be dead by then or walk out of the fire.
All right, we are back. Let me just change the screen. I'm kind of screwed up here for a sec. There we go. My map disappeared. I didn't know why. All right, just one sec.
I'm actually going to move back to where I was.
Ooh, nat 20.
So 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, max damage. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's going to be 16. Yeah, that's going to be approaching 30 points of damage. Where's it at? All right. The Bulgara screams out in like anger and pain, just and lurches forward like a half step in front of Benkuhm, and Benkuhm's kind of struggling to bring his sword up and yells right back in his face, almost matching the same tone and intensity, just snarling in this gorilla's face. The gorilla, however, turns his head past. Fenris, can I get you to do a perception check at... Yeah, just do a perception check straight. It's technically for your puppy.
My puppy.
And I'm not sure what kinds of communication you have with that Hound of Ill Omen.
It does as I order it to. Like,
Okay,
I don't really have to say anything. It just attacks what my target.
but it's not like a familiar where you get to...
No.
Okay, that's cool. If it saw something, what would it do? If it hasn't been Like you've
It will only attack its target.
Okay, cool.
So it can see something else, but it's only going to attack the target that I've initiated in, and the target that has initiated, no matter what it does. Like if, say for example, if the Balruga goes invisible, it doesn't matter. The Hound can still see it now.
Nice. All right. Coming up to the top of the order, Archibald comes up beside Darmita, can't even see her in the dark, so almost bumps into her, and he readies his rapier and gets his stance and takes his wig off and kind of gets ready to engage this thing, but doesn't actually. He just stands more or less next to where Darmita is and holds. Coming up next, Fenris.
Can you not make that range, that distance?
Actually, he didn't want to get right up in its face. It's growling and heavy. He's waiting to see what happens with Benkuhm.
Fair enough.
He would have thrown daggers. He actually says, "You took both of my daggers, and I'm going to take them out of your ass." All right, coming up next. That would be Fenris and Benkuhm.
Okay. I really don't want to bother wasting any more expensive spells right now, so I'm just gonna shall touch it again.
Nice. Make your roll.
Good.
Ooh, not one. Terrible. 10 total.
Oof. Yeah, that hurts a little. So unfortunately, that is a miss. Yeah, chill touch kind of right over past it and. Okay, then it's going to be Benkuhm.
Okay, so I've never played a barbarian except for when I play this character. So I was just looking at Reckless because when you got advantage on Benkuhm,
Oh, because of that.
that's weird. I was supposed to have advantage last time when I
You
went.
did, but you're exhausted, aren't you?
Oh, does that cancel it out?
He's
that's what it
he's
is.
not. Is he currently exhausted?
I don't know.
I don't think he
It's-
is. I think he's fine again.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
remember.
don't. It says I have under second wind. It says total exhaustion 1 second wind.
Okay, so he is exhausted one level then.
I don't know.
That
I
makes
mean, I
sense.
don't his
Yeah.
thing. So does that cancel it out?
No.
Not
I
only
think
one level, no.
second or third level of exhaustion will cancel his advantage.
I don't know why.
But
I
on
would have read-
ability checks, he would be disadvantaged right now.
I would say you're about at the point now where you can just finish it off.
Okay.
It's just reckless finish.
All right. So I guess I'll do that reckless attack again on the first one. Or on yeah. So sorry, I'm just trying to get back to his page. Great weapon master, all of the business. So at advantage, that's a 19.
That does hit.
All right. I think it does all of. I think he's done it with all of his business.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna splat him.
That's right.
18 plus 3, so the 22 plus, and then he gets another hit,
He
He
not-
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can attack again. Yeah.
right? If I read that correct. And I can't see what that is. For some reason, my damage roll has something in front of it.
Oh, okay. It's a 12, the most recent
So
one.
it misses.
Okay.
But you have advantage on both attacks.
Oh, that's true. So you get to roll
Oh.
that last one again.
I
Oh, this
thought
thing is looking really hurt. It's still like angrily growling and like swinging its head back and forth right down at Benkuhm, like right in his face.
All right. Yeah, I'm taking your folks' word for it because don't play barbarians, but I don't think that was much better.
No, that was
No,
a
it was
7.
Was not.
So, miss.
So Benkuhm is he's actually in a screaming contest with this thing more than an actual hitting contest. He hits it and then this thing's
Yeah.
growling at him and he's just screaming right back in his face. They're both turning purple. Well, the Bulgar was already purple, but Benkuhm is now turning purple. And all of a sudden, the screaming just stops. As the Bulgar just reaches up to grab Benkuhm's throat.
Just curious, who goes first, the Balruga or the Hound?
What was the Hound's initiative again?
14?
The Bulgara got 16. So,
Cool.
Hit, miss, and hit. So this thing just grabs him, goes to bite him, and Benkuhm's just keeping him off, just holding back his face. He's doing one of, like that. So he's just trying to choke him out and slam him and just smash him. And so 2 hits. That's going to be...
I'd be remiss if I didn't say that the whole advantage thing happens again, unless there's some reason why he shouldn't get it.
No, actually, that's a good point. He is recklessing, although I guess yeah.
Yeah, I did.
None of those helped. So, yeah, they all still, just the 2 fists hit. And so it does a total of 30 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 15. As Benkuhm is just like smashing. 1 sec there, Carl, if you can. We're going to
Sorry.
be taking a break in just a sec, but trust me.
Can you do a favor, Darcy? Can you do that? Because
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, so the Bulgar is just pounding on Benkuhm, and Benkuhm is looking pretty hurt, I think. The 2 of them are just like choking each other out, and then all of a sudden the face of the Bulgar leans in and growls at him. Internet, what does the Bulgar yell at Benkuhm's face? Whatever it is, the rest of you out of Abyssal. I know most of you understand Abyssal, but still, would you guys hear it?
I can't stand
And it just falls in just down in front of Benkuhm, and you're all just like, Archie starts clapping. He's like, "Good one, Benkuhm, nice." Benkuhm looks at you guys, catching his breath, and looks around, and standing right next to, just behind the Bulgar that was kind of blocking your sight, you see a winged figure standing there. Just posted up right next to this thing, and the left fist is just dripping like blood and spinal fluid and demon ichor, and there's this large hole punched right in the like lower spine of this Bulgar, right on the like in through the kidneys, and like just burst a kidney on this thing. This thing it's got a bird-like appearance, and it is yet a man. By the way, the Bulgar said, thank you, Yaffin. The Bulgar said,
when I get done beating out. Oh, wait. That hurts.
thank you. Standing over this fallen Bulgar, there is I'm gonna mess this up. There's a bird man.
Hey, you can't mess if you don't try.
Yeah. Arakokra. Standing there. What do you want to say? Anybody?
Well, I'm glad that this is over with.
Who are you?
Find the fire.
Well, my name is Faluri. You haven't seen an elf walk around? I'm looking for an elf.
You just hear a voice in the dark go, "What the hell?"
And cut to black.
And that is where we're going to take our break. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. We will be back in just a moment, and thank you for your patience, Carl. I was like, how can I work?
No problem.
We got to get this in. All right, so Internet, thanks very much. If you want to make title suggestions, we will happily take them throughout the game. And we're just going to take, what do we need, 10 minutes? 10, 12 minutes? What does Archie need?
Oh, my Archie?
Yeah, your Archie. No, we know what Archibald needs. He needs a drink and a house of ill repute and a dry cleaner.
No, I'll probably wait to take them out till about 12:30.
Okay, cool. I'm hoping to wrap by 12:30 because I've been up too late. I'm still recovering. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, everybody. I'm going to go refresh my coffee. I suggest you do the same. Thanks very much, Internet, and welcome to the table there, Carl. And it wasn't a lot yet. You were very patient there. We'll come back and find out how the morally ambiguous crew are going to murder you.
Jeez, you ruined the surprise.
You can try.
Oh, nice. All right, so we'll be back in just a few minutes, everybody.
Ouch! You punched me right in the kidney. Oh. I was still using that. Ow. Oh, it really hurts. You punched me right in the spine. Oh.
Is he still talking?
I'm not quite dead. Okay, I'm dead. I could live for a while without kidneys. I mean,
Every turn that you end in there, you're taking more fire damage, so just die already.
oh, it burns. I'm very badly burned. Still alive. I kind of wish I wasn't. Baphomet is going to eat your souls. Ow. Oh yeah. I feel it coming now. My
They
final
always
words.
talk this much when they die.
That's the worst part about demons.
All right, and we're back. Sorry, I'm just mussing around a little bit. All right. Hi, we're back. We back from our break. We have now met a new person, a new bird person, a birdman.
Bird the bounty hunter.
Absolutely. All right, so let's see where this goes from here. Yeah. The Bulgara, the verbose Bulgara, slowly begins liquefying.
Oh God! I'm melting! Ah.
And eventually dies at the feet of Benkuhm. Benkuhm just and is burning in Philees' fire, and Benkuhm starts stabbing it randomly into the ichor with the sword of the Hidden Lord, and the Aarakocra. Am I saying that right?
You said it right.
All right, the Aarakocra is standing over there.
Oh goodness. At least you guys came. I've been down here for quite some time. I was chasing someone, and then these two guys just came, got me, put me down, and I was unable to move. So I'm glad that you guys are here. Anything I can do to help you, let me know.
You were down here before. I think it seems impossible. I am keen-eyed.
This is my first time down here. Like I said, I was chasing this elf that was assigned to chase as a mark, and somehow I went through a portal, and it was a little warmer, I won't lie, but I ended up here. A lot of them got me down, and Just barely woke up, and here I am now.
So just so you know, you awoke kind of on a little right on the edge of a cliff, and ended up leaving. You're not too worried about flying, but you did end up kind of coming along this way, trying to track your prey, and up through a chasm from underneath Elturel.
What he said.
I'll look to Fenris and sort of see how he's reacting.
I'm kind of quiet at the back. I'm just observing from, this new being here. I'm seeing this interaction. I'm like, but upon saying that, I'm like, you may not realize this, but do you know that where you are?
No, not really.
No.
Like I said, it's a lot warmer and it's a lot more cozy down here than I'm used to. In
Do you know the city Elturel?
I've been through it a couple, but not to this level.
You're in Elturel, but this city is now in Avernus, so we're in hell.
Would explain the heat.
We passed through a portal and found our way down here. Was there a portal that took you here?
Yes, I can't remember where it is now, but yes, like I said, I was chasing someone, and somehow through a portal I came in, and yes, got.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
I don't know if Fenris would do that. I just want to see if he's lying.
Absolutely. So, I'm sorry, what is your character's name again?
Valorie.
Valorie?
Valorie.
Valorie.
Put a Quebec accent on there. So.
Okay, Valorie. Okay. 17.
I just made up the spelling. I hope that works. Valorie? I don't know.
Yeah, almost, It's all good. Yeah, there you go. It's actually exactly that.
All right, nice.
Or minus the O. But it's all right. You can put the O in.
That's how it's translated into common. How was your
17.
17? Does not appear to be lying, but also not quite telling everything they know, but doesn't seem to be holding back on any non-intentionally deceptive.
I just kind of shrug. I'd say, okay, well, you're free to follow the trail of this elf, but we're getting back to a relatively safe spot. There are demons and devils all over this place.
And right now, I'm all for safety. Like I said, I lost the self a little while ago. I still need to find them, but I can't find them if I'm dead.
At that point, when he says that, I'll kind of come out of the shadows more toward the light, and just kind of walk up to Fenris and give him a look like, are we gonna take on another stray? Kind of look.
Yeah, this is like one of those days. And I just kind of look down at Henrietta. I'm like, I just kind of shrug. Okay, whatever. Let's go. Let's get back. I'm just kind of, my character's kind of like, Fenris has lost a lot of patience in the past hour. He's just like, okay, all right, whatever.
I'm almost out of spell slots. My blood.
I still have a fair bit.
My
but
blood sugar levels are low.
I'm a little frazzled with this whole Henrietta and all this stuff that's happening. So I'm like, let's just get back. Let's just go. I've lost a bit of my patience.
I'll step towards our new friend here and say something like, well, all right, it is a pleasure to meet you. I am Philees the Thunder. What is your name?
My name is Valorie.
Valorie?
Valorie, yes. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You are a Elturel, is that correct? Do you hail from the elemental planes? I'm quite well studied.
Yeah. Well, yes, I do. And yes, I am an Ahakokra.
I'm not quite familiar with, I mean, I dabble, but I'm more attuned to the earth, of course. But
Sir, run on.
the bear is quite interesting, and we're
Said.
probably like do some
I see.
rambling.
Hello.
Ah, I see. Hello.
SideQuests Live. Said. /.
Hi, Sir Run On. Thanks for jumping in. We're doing some Dungeons and Dragons, meeting a brand new player, brand new character. Let's see if the players murder him.
Not such a good idea.
4 versus 1. It's actually more than 4. How many of us are there right now?
Archibald turns around and is busy. He opens up that door next to where Fenris was. He actually asks Fenris, "Are we ready to?"
Just nod like, yes,
All
let's
right.
go.
So he pops open the door, and you can all feel the wind as a new exit point is available for it, and so there's a rush of wind. On the far side is a dimly lit chamber widened up about 20 feet or so. And do a perception check for me. Fenris, you're towards the front.
"23.
All right. You haven't been in this chamber, but the stonework, the smooth-worked floor, the tapestries, the little alcoves for the buried dead. There's little plaques in a few different places. I don't think you've been in this one, but you've been in some of the burial chambers in the crypts below the high hall, and this resembles one of those. If anything,
This looks like
it resembles a fairly fancy-looking one, a little bigger than the ones you've seen.
okay. I'll turn to the others and I'll say, "This stonework looks familiar to what was beneath in the catacombs of the High Hall. We must be close." And I'll just kind of take a look at the Valerie and... Do you want to take point? Or do you want to follow?
Take point? No problem.
Okay, you first.
All right, so you push your way to the front of the pack, and you enter into an area where you're in a fairly large burial chamber, and there's stairs ascending at the far end. There doesn't appear to be any other exits, although there are a few tombs, like raised up kind of coffins. There's about 4 of them in this room, and then there's alcoves built into the walls around you where the bones and ashes of the honored dead have been laid to rest. There's stairs at the end, and that's about all you see other than these people around you.
Sir, run on. Said. Trying to find Philees' icon.
Philees' icon looks like, I'll put it right next to Philees here, you'll see in just one sec. All right. Oh, just ignore the Henrietta stuff. We're running out of real estate here. All right. So so you ascend the stairs? Do you want to stay in this room? Do you want to look around? Do you want to
Syntax
search?
singularity. Said. Bird.
Oh, I'm an adventurous guy. I'll go up the stairs and see what's there.
Nice.
Sir, run on. Said. LOL. Hi, Prince Adam.
Nice. All right, so you find yourselves in the catacombs, and it's not a section you've been in before. The map's gonna hop, by the way. Sorry, guys. It's just gonna take a second. Not that we need the map per se. With you kind of watch as Valerie goes ahead, scouting carefully around, but you you've been in these tombs before. Very quickly, not Valerie, but everybody else has been in these tombs before. Rather quickly, you get the feeling, oh, okay, this is the section that we didn't explore. This was towards the far. That should be resolving for you guys at this point.
Yeah.
Is it not bright, but like lit in here?
Those little
Does this section
magical.
have those lanterns?
It does. This section has those little lanterns. Yes. So.
Creating dim light or bright light?
It actually where you are right now is considered dim light. By the way, I'll ping where you are. You arrived in the bottom left-hand chamber.
Yeah, we wouldn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Context
Well,
probably,
you wouldn't know.
but-
I'm just saying for the map's sake.
Yeah.
And as you ascend those stairs, you see these two lit torches.
Triangulate it.
And actually, fairly quickly, you recognize. At least you've been in similar halls, although it's a bit of a maze. There are two torches on the wall with burning continual flames, and again, this is right down there where Philees was. I can probably drag some people too. Oops.
Alright, I'm still trying to get a hold of the map there, so...
Oh, is it still loading?
No, just
Sir
roll-to-way
Run On.
newbie.
Oh,
Sure.
there you go.
Passing through. Have fun.
Thanks for dropping by, Sir Ronan, and we'll see you again soon. And hey, thanks for the follow the other day. Appreciate it. All right, so Valerie, you see these tombs. You see the crypts with the coffins. They don't appear to be disturbed.
Okay.
Ahead of you, there is it widens open for about 20 feet or so, and then there's a passage straight ahead or to the right.
I will go straight ahead.
Okay. This
Do we have any way of actually discerning our location and knowing where we want
go
to
ahead
go?
and do an investigation check for me.
Okay. Just look around. Look at the way the things are.
And I'm gonna
the
give, because you've
almost
been down
imperceptible
here.
slants and such. Yeah.
Yeah,
Here.
Archibald also follows Valerie into the room.
Investigation, you said?
Yes, please.
Do-do-do.
And anyone else who wants to follow.
19.
Yeah, you discern pretty quickly. I mean, you kind of recognized, you didn't quite get this far in your wandering, but you do determine roughly where you are compared to where you spent the night previously.
Oh, Valerie, we've been here before. It should be this way, actually.
You want me to go to the right?
I mean, it should be perfectly safe. We can all go together.
Archibald is like, oh, come on, Philees, we could have had some fun with him.
Look, this woman is clearly not well. We need to see if this cleric person, I can't remember their name, unfortunately, see if they could do anything.
Benkuhm's like, all right, and just starts hiking. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. So I
Down
just
the hall
propose
to the right.
like a scene cut.
Yeah,
just
you
as
guys-
anything that you plan on doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So after a couple of twists and turns, you guys arrive back at your where you spent the night in the catacombs beneath the high hall. When you first approach, the rest of the people have like huddled into the little corners. For those who are watching on the map, it's on the far right. Now there are two of all of you.
That's true.
There. Not anymore.
Killed the new us. We all went back to where we were last night. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Benkuhm just drags Pederson into the middle and unceremoniously dumps her next to the fountain. Everybody else, you can kind of choose to where you want to be. There's about 100 or so people in this catacomb, all sheltered. Actually, probably a bit more than that. About 120 people sheltering in the nooks and crannies of this large underground crypt. There are two fountains in the middle. That's the circular things, and vaguely glowing with a blue luminescence. In right next to where Philees is standing, there's a half-orc woman clutching a large leather-bound tome. Looks like most of the people are deferring to her. After a few minutes, another, I believe, elf? Let me zoom in and find out.
They're an elf, yeah.
The elf druid that you met above comes walking through, and seeing your return, comes hustling over. Oh, hello.
Hello, we made it back!
You've returned. Farah looks at Philees and smiles. It is good to see you. Thank you for coming back.
Well, we found this woman. Is this the person?
Oh, her? Yes, you found Cmdr Pederson. What is wrong with her? And she walks around to where Benkuhm has dropped her. Benkuhm walks over and leans against a wall, shooing a young child out of the way with a just barely missed kick.
Well, our best bet is that it is a Helm of Sight that was mentioned previously, but it seems to be cursed in some way. I tried to suppress the magic as best I could, but it was causing her great pain earlier.
Cursed, you say? Farah leans down and just kind of doesn't quite touch, but kind of hovers her hands next to Hen's head. She appears unhurt otherwise. Not badly, anyway. I think we can...
Hopefully she didn't swallow any demonic ether. There was a lot running around. It was a whole thing. Don't worry about it.
Demons?
There's in the crypt, we followed their trail, and we found her. She seems to be the only survivor. There is an area that I suppose was meant to be a portal for communication.
Oh yes, the high priests have mentioned there was not a gateway, but a message portal that they've had rumors, worst kept rumor in Elturel. It allowed them to commune easily with the will of Pelor and his celestial flock.
Well, now it's a gate to the abyss, and I wasn't able to completely close it.
As you say that, like, Farah was about to take a drink from a glass, and as you say gateway to the abyss, she drops the glass and all over the ground.
Among other things, it seemed to shift around a little. Which I might not know that. I think I didn't see it when that happened.
Damn.
It only shifted once.
For a moment I had hoped, but never mind. We seem to be cursed. She clutches her book and shudders a little bit and looks back at Henrietta. Well, at least I think we can maybe help her. But I can't do it alone. Will you help me?
What do you need?
Well, we have to go up into the temple and make sure that we can hold it for a little while. There is an altar, the main altar, that we should be able to use to clear her mind.
Do you have any idea what is wrong with the helmet? It's not supposed to act this way, I do not believe.
All I know is that it was rumored to be sort of linked to the mirror that allowed you to commune with the will of Pelor, to see what Pelor wished you to see. The original was with Lannick Pederson, who used it to try and find the best path forward, while others were advocating for further wars He advocated to find a way to make peace in this land. At least that's what I know of it anyway. I don't think it meant to do this to you. She points down at the unconscious form of Henrietta.
All right, let's do this.
All right, cutscene. You guys are upstairs. You guys have carefully sent your scouts out. The
invisibility.
Yeah. The High Hall, the cathedral itself, stands just pretty much as you left it.
Pelor, would you like to see something that most people probably
Syntax
cover?
singularity. Said,
I would love to see new
it's been
things.
fun lurking,
Yes.
but I've gotta go. See you later.
Thanks for watching Syntax Singularity, and also for the chats when I'm doing some video game stuff. I'll do more of that. We're also hoping to do some more Shadowrun coming up. So D&D, Shadowrun, and video games. What more can you ask for? So we appreciate you jumping in. Oh, if you got a sec and you want to suggest a title for tonight's episode, you're more than welcome to type it in Typity. All right, so you guys have climbed your way back out of the hidden entrance into the catacombs, and Farah, who I just have to jump over and go grab her mini because I forgot it on the previous map. One of these days, I'll get better at this, I swear to God.
Syntax singularity. Said, I've got no idea LOL. Syntax singularity. Said, night you guys.
Good night, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. All right, Farah kind of comes up with you and Seltem and points to the west from where you're currently standing towards these curtains that block the way. Fenris, a cold shiver runs up your spine as soon as you realize where you're headed.
I just mentioned, like, that altar has been desecrated. You may not like what you're going to see.
Farah kind of steels herself and nods. And, we will need to undesecrate it. I'm sure there's a better word for that, but I am only an acolyte. Also, the DM forgot.
Consecrate is the opposite of desecration, but if you're going for sort of a more neutral thing, then undesecrate is probably accurate, yes.
Secrate it. We need to secrate it.
Do you mean consecrated?
That's the one. Consecrate.
Consecrate. Reconsecrate.
I'm sorry.
Re-sanctify.
Who are you? You introduce yourself. Unless you wanted to stay below.
I could just stay perched on one of the columns.
All right.
It doesn't matter to me. Just
Actually,
watching.
yeah. So as you come out from here, by the way, what's your name again, Carl?
Faluri.
Faluri. I want you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
Wisdom saving throw. That would be an 11, Bob.
All right. So, you almost weep when you climb out of this tiny little enclosed tunnel into this massive open cathedral. Think like St. Joseph's almost, in Montreal. Like, it's very high. It's got a large balcony section. There's a huge pipe organ at the one end. There's these curtains kind of dividing the different sections on the ground level. And the height of this place just calls to you. You had fled from a demon, fled from devils, a flying devil squad when you had been flying around Elturel, climbed up, and the only place to hide was this chasm, and you almost didn't make it in because you hate being enclosed. It's a part of your race. They just hate that nonsense. It almost broke you crawling through there. At which point the demons found you and chased you, and then you kind of hid, and it was back and forth, and then you heard this stuff, and that's how you ended up meeting these guys. But at this point, all of that just falls away. There is open space above you, and you are finally free to stretch your wings.
majestic as they are, just flapping, going to the highest perch, and just sitting there for now, just enjoying the stillness and the...
Absolutely. So the highest perch is technically above where I just put you back here, overlooking this place.
Balcony, isn't there?
Yeah, you're right up you're right up on the balcony, and you take a look. It is currently empty, although there are some desecrated bodies up there as well. Some fallen humans who've been... Wait, have they been chewed on? Ugh. It's a mess up there. But it is currently empty. Everybody else kind of gathers on the west side here, and Fenris, you push through.
I'm looking around with see invisibility, actually, just because I recall that the last time the imps...
Nice.
How they got found out. Yeah. So
all right, do a perception check for me.
And while he's doing that, I'm just waiting for his cue in a direction or proximity, and I'm just holding an arrow ready to go.
Absolutely.
20.
Nice. All right. You look around. Other than a few cries from outside, far distance, and you see the flap of, like, through one of the broken, shattered stained glass windows, you see a couple of flights of what look like winged creatures pretty far off in the distance. Probably one of those devil patrols, winged devils, but again, very far away. Everything else appears to be pretty clear. Farah pushes past you and flings open the curtain and marches forward, and then just stops with an audible gasp. In this room, there are entrails on the floor drawing crude pictures in what used to be the high altar of Pelor in this space has been brutally desecrated. The artwork has been befouled with all kinds of just feces and blood and all. There are fallen defenders of the High Hall here who've been used as paint palettes. There's devil footprints all around this area. Looks like a medium-sized, but there are also finger marks and claw marks way up high on the pillars. They spent their time here. They really took their time. It is just disgusting, and this overwhelming sense of lurches up in the throat of anyone who enters this. Farah takes a step back, stands next to Fenris back in the main entry hall where you were, and turns and looks at you. We're going to need water. You. Lay her down. Oh, and the old man, by the way, as soon as he saw you, Darmita, he's come with you and is just basically refusing to leave your side.
Yeah, I'll kind of keep him sheltered a little bit.
Sure. Benkuhm basically gives Henrietta to Archibald, who, like, has a hard time, cannot hold her up, and, like, sinks down and lays her on the ground. And then he turns around and walks back, following Farah, and everybody else takes some time going back and forth, carrying buckets and buckets and buckets of holy water out of the...
Farah, are you an accomplished spellcaster or not? I do not recall.
I have some skills, but I would like your help with this. Anyone can take the lead, whether you're pious or not, but it will be easier if you are.
Well, I was just curious if you might want to. Maybe we should all rest the night and prepare for this. Gather your thoughts and pray on what you would need to move forward.
She looks around for a second.
I do not personally have any, skill in consecration, but creation of water, something like that, definitely.
We need to wash it clean with holy water. That should do. After that, I hope my prayers are still answered.
I didn't know there's actually creating holy water, or just the repositories for it.
The fountain makes more below.
Well, in that case, then yes, probably we can just move forward today with the buckets as such. All right.
So you guys spend the next 15 minutes or so just hauling up water buckets, and Archibald carves out some of the more the cleaner sections of the cloth of the of some of these curtains and other rags and vestments that they find, and you guys get to scrubbing. You guys end up cleaning and just wiping all at the direction of Farah. And after
show of hands, who's actually like helping?
Oh yeah, is anybody?
I'm watching. I'm keeping watch.
Sure.
Yeah, I wanted to like go up to Fenris while he's not watching or not helping.
Actually, Darmita
You're on.
was on.
In
I was
patrol.
following. Yeah, following Fenris. So I'm not, and she doesn't consider herself probably a good candidate for this task.
Farah does enlist a couple of the kind of more brave commoners from below to help. So there's enough people to kind of clear this place out in about 40 minutes or so, maybe an hour.
Yeah, I imagine a scene like
The rest of you are bodyguards, basically.
the rest of us not participating, and probably were at the very least Darmita and Fenris, assuming that Darmita's not, found a more advantageous position and still near. I want to,
Even
at
the
very least, approach Fenris and say something like, "So, what do you make of all this? It seems like, quite the procedure, I suppose."
I don't know if it'll work, and we'll see. But
Okay,
all I
so
know,
sorry, go ahead.
all I know right now is our best bet is to wake this paladin up, Henrietta, and see what she can glean from this helmet to point us in the right direction.
You're putting your faith in the gods, then?
No.
Your no comes out a little bit louder than you possibly intended, echoing throughout the halls of this temple that's dedicated to Pelor and other gods, mostly Pelor.
I glance over at Benkuhm, so I'm seeing if I can speak with Fenris outside of, if he's not paying attention directly to what we're saying. You were concerned about Benkuhm being cursed. You wonder if whatever procedure this is actually the solution you were looking for.
If we can revive the paladin, perhaps she can help us cure Benkuhm of his curse.
Do you think her curse is different than his? I suppose
think
in
so.
nature, at the very least.
I think so. She's also not very bright. From when last I remember her.
Oh, right, you've met her. She said that before falling unconscious.
Passing through, yes. Our paths crossed once, and we split apart abruptly.
Oh. Perhaps this is fortuitous, then.
Perhaps.
At the very least, it is for her. She seemed like she was about to drown.
Oh. If I'd known it was her, I might have let her.
Again, your voice
You'll have to tell me
echoes
sometime.
throughout the temple.
I won't push any further now, though. We too have only met recently. Cool.
Just keep an eye out, both for Benkuhm and her. Right, that's rule number one. We need to get out of here alive. I know. I've noticed that you find you're this kind of a bit of an adventure. You don't seem concerned that you're in hell.
Would have yet to actually see much of the hell itself. And I was always looking forward to Elturel in the first place. Never got the chance to come around to actually visit. But, it is another place to be. One plane after another.
Sure.
And if I'm not mistaken, I have the contact down here. It's someone who used to trade useful reagents for my activities on the surface. But hopefully, if we can meet up with him, then getting back to... he certainly made it from one plane to another before. So maybe that is precisely where we should head.
Maybe. We just have some unfinished business first.
I believe it's ready.
Okay.
Can you lay her on the altar? Benkuhm walks her forward, places her. Which button? Oh, there it is. And then steps back. You're keeping a close eye on Benkuhm, Darmita, as well. You see him flinch a little when his hand brushes the altar.
Okay. Duly noted.
With your careful watch around, Farah begins kind of muttering. She pulls out an old scroll and she kneels before this altar and starts speaking in a language. Do any of you speak Celestial?
Nope.
All right, of course, Darmita does.
Darmita would.
Of course.
Yeah.
I won't get into all the details, but her and Seltern both begin chanting in Celestial prayers and beseechments to bless this place, bless the servants of Pelor, the true servants of Pelor. Please break the bonds that hold the commander. Please break the bonds that hold Elturel and all of us. And as they say all of us, all of a sudden, the old man standing next to Darmita has been kind of just gently like holding onto the side of her cloak. When they get to the end of it, he mutters in perfect synchronicity and in full Celestial, "For all of us."
And I turn down to him and I'm like, in Celestial, I say, "Are you remembering?"
I don't. That. Yes, I remember that. And he's pointing at the helm. He kind of walks a little bit forward unless you're going to stop him.
I'm not going to stop him, but I'm going to stay very close. And just...
Yeah, so you shadow him, and he kind of walks forward and almost absent-mindedly just pushing past Farah and Seltern. Like, they both kind of a little bit surprised at his presence, and then he stands right in front of the altar and just reaches out and just literally taps Henrietta on the nose. Boop. What have you got there, my dear? It has been a long time. Ah, yes. The gift. You bear a resemblance. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It's just your voices sound so nice. It reminds me of singing. And he starts to sing this old hymn in Celestial. And kind of wanders away a little bit. Archibald kind of leans in to Farah. It's like, is it done yet? And Farah's like, I hope so.
Knowing that like Fenris and Philees and Benkuhm didn't really understand much of that interaction, I'm just gonna give a look over at Fenris, kind of in the way that we do, communicating without verbalizing, that kind of like toward the old man, like he's remembering, kind of just, I don't know how to verbalize it, just indicating toward him.
Yeah, just kind of raising an eyebrow at the old man and a little nod.
Yeah.
Are any of you trained in religion?
Yes.
Philees? Okay.
And so am I.
Can I get either both of you can roll or one of you can roll with advantage? Why don't we have both of you roll?
Yeah, we're not really working together. I believe Pelor is like
Oh,
way up
you
the
know,
side of the room. Yeah.
there's my knowledge right there. So a
Right
total
out of the gate.
5. Yeah.
Nat 1.
Awesome.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome.
Now one.
Awesome. This is great.
That's the moment you joined us right there. Everything else was preamble.
That's I'm sticking the physical dice now.
We get like a shot inside your head. Like I'm super curious what your background in religion is. Like what sort of points do you lean into in your searching your memory?
And your
Does that make
monkdom.
sense?
Yeah. How do you...
Because like I know you're a monk, but I don't think it's really come up in game, right?
Yeah.
No, it hasn't. Well, her relation with religion was mostly out of the areas visiting, and she does follow Timora, just because in her line of work, luck is what you need. So she spent a couple of times, anyways, in the service of the temples serving Timora, so doing some studies there, and so
It was more of a
essentially-
minor than a major.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it's just in line with her work, essentially, not necessarily out of devotion for.
She majored in hitting things, but minored in a bunch of other electives.
Cool. Yeah.
At the mountaintop temples and and the floating islands that inhabit parts of the plane of air. It was beautiful, but unfortunately, when it came to the part about Pelor, she was like, "Okay."
Yeah, but I do come a little closer as I get a better observation. So I don't know if there's a perch somewhere else. It's a little closer.
It is somewhat fortuitous, just the visual of the wings spreading wide and fluttering and flying down and landing on one of the more nearby pillars. At this point, Philees, you're pretty interested in many different religions.
Yes.
And when they were praying, they were using a fairly old, like almost a hymn, and it's not so much the words that they used, but the tune was wrong. You were like, "Oh, I've heard that.
This is more about
I've heard that song before."
right, and I mean this is also approaching it from a spellcasting standpoint, right?
From a
Like,
spellcasting
she's casting a
point-
spell from a scroll, right?
Yeah, and it was more of it's a ritual, and she's trying to cast this thing, and it didn't quite go. And you don't understand you don't speak Celestial, so you don't understand the words.
I don't know.
But you heard the harmonies that they were doing, and at a certain point, Seltern went this way, and Pharaoh went that way, and it was dissonant at like very near the crescendo moment.
Is the scroll okay, or did it like burn up and get whiffed?
No, it's still there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll approach. I'm gonna wait to see if they say anything first. I don't know where position.
Seltern they're just standing in silence, like hoping it worked.
Druid. Yeah.
And the druid looks back and is like, I don't think it's working. Something should have happened.
Maybe you just need someone to help you keep time. Archie, what do it? I turn back to
Yeah.
Seltern. What is the signature? Let Archie step along.
What am I, back in nun school? God damn it. And Pharaoh says, watch your tongue. This is holy ground, young man. Archibald. And he visibly kind of, but bitterly kind of shrinks.
You have better rhythm than I do. I simply...
He begrudgingly comes over and assists and starts to kind of keep tempo and just clicking his cane on the ground. Click, 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 click. And the tempo is much more steady now that he's doing that. How else do you want to assist?
Be a performance roll. If I was going to be like, well, I'll do the thing I just asked Archie to do, and then I realized it was probably performance, in which case I have a -1, and Archie has like a +12.
Yeah, absolutely. So he begins to keep time perfectly. That's how he's assisting with this. How do you plan to assist, or is that you're kind of directing these, like the conductor? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do know ritual casting, and one of these two people is not a cleric, they're a druid. So if the druid can help, I can assist in the same way that Seltern would.
Absolutely.
But I get that beat first, and then it's like, oh, let's
fantastic. Darmita, would you like to assist in any way? Or are you keeping watch?
I don't actually know what spell they're doing, technically, so I don't even know if I technically can help, but, in a traditional rule. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyone can choose to help if you can make an argument for it.
After we walk away, because I'm assuming we didn't walk far away, probably just, scurried a little to the side. I'm just gonna kind of lean down, and kind of just quietly talking to his ear, and be like, "Can you help them?"
Oh, help. Oh. Who? He's got his back to them, and it's there's no recognition in his face at all that there's even people behind him. He's just like,
no object permanence.
I'll just kind of
steer him
and be like,
oh dear. Oh, she has an affliction. Oh yes, yes.
Help?
I think maybe. I think maybe I can. And the crescendo and Archie's keeping the time. Fenris, you're keeping watch? Or do you want to get involved? Or do you pointedly not want to?
Keeping watch. Pointedly not directly involved.
Valerie?
I will be taking the same approach.
Nice. You're all keeping watch. The voices are really starting to hit a tempo now that Archibald, and he actually starts to sing out as well. And Farah kind of, her old kind of stern voice raising a little bit in tempo, and the words are in Celestial, but you can kind of mouth them along. Seltern is also, and with Philees trying to direct. Philees, can I get you to roll? Well, you got a 23 on religion, so we'll count that. Darmita, you're trying to persuade the old man to help. Can you roll persuasion, please?
Okay. It's partially to help them, but more my goal is to bring something out of him. Like a memory, a repressed memory of some sort.
All right, so make a persuasion check, please.
All right. Bear with me. I'm having really bad lag tonight. Oh, fuck me. Oh, my God.
That's a 5.
5.
The old man turns to him and says, everyone is falling. She is fallen as well. And now we shall fall soon as well. But not you. You have wings. He points up to Valerie. But all of us, we're how do you say? He looks up at Benkuhm. Fucked. Yes. When the city falls, we will hit the water, and the water was surprisingly hot. and it soothes and seeps into my ear and right into my nose and onto my tongue, and it's bitter and warm and cloying, and then I remember feathers. And he goes walking up to where Valerie is and points. At this point, everyone else sees the old man's one wing pop out, apparate next to him, and he flaps it, and he does manage to actually, it's a magical flight, it's not just wing flight, so he flaps it and still manages to be a couple of feet off the ground for a few seconds and then touches back down again, and then turns around and looks, and then, but not feathers, not your feathers, no, they were different, not like my oh dear. And he just notices again that his other wing is missing, and then they were black, yes, black feathers, chonk, 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 clunk, chonk and clunk, yes, chonk and clunk. Black feathers.
Old man, they're trying to complete this song, old man.
And he looks back,
and it's the path of the way. I'm going to try to persuade him.
Okay, go for it.
Why not? Stall this.
And while he's doing that, I'm just kind of trying to shelter him and soothe him.
I'm going to spend a luck point.
I knew you were going to say that.
I know.
That was a 13,
I know.
but lucky 13.
You were out. You've been rolling.
Oh my god, 13.
That's a 12. You're out of luck now.
Yeah.
And he's like,
no, I only used one before.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're trying to... Oh, you just need to wake her up. And he pulls on his sleeve and pulls it back and goes running across the room, barrels past Seltern, who's like, but, and just haul, like ugly slaps, like ugly full arm slap right down, like face slap on the face of Henrietta, the sleeping prone Henrietta, with like a frickin' palm just right on the face, and it just echoes throughout the whole space. And clang, her head rolls back, and clang, the helmet rolls off and scatters, rolls off past the altar and clangs onto the floor. That's what you wanted?
Yeah.
And I run up and I just grab him panicking that he's done something wrong.
The helmet fell on the floor, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking the helmet.
Okay, you start moving to pick up the helmet, and Henrietta sits up on the table and just goes, oh, for fuck's sakes. Oh. Who did that? Oh my god. Oh, her nose is bleeding. There's like a red hand mark right across the face.
And then at a point, old man did it.
She looks at you incredulously, like you're lying, right? And then looks at everyone else.
And I defensively just glare at Fenris and go, he rescued you. He saved you. You should be...
She swings her leg over the altar and sits up, and Farah stands up and goes to help her up, and she's wobbly on her feet, but she does manage to stand. The old man kind of comes back with Darmita a little bit, and she manages to walk forward with a little bit of help from Farah, and takes in all of you and says, all right, well, thank you. I wish we met in better circumstances, but I don't think we have much time. You have to get the sword. This will help. She points at the helm, but don't put it on for too long. Or at all. You need the sword. It was taken by an angel away from the eye. I see a plane and I see a fortress springing up out of the dirt. Red, broken ground. And a sword, glowing blue in the night. Surrounded. Dust trails and ash. Oh, I don't know why I've slipped into British. She's Scottish, sorry. Dust trails and ash. And Pelor spoke to me. In another terrible voice. The Bleeding Citadel. You'll find it at the Bleeding Citadel.
We cut to credits.
That's where
No.
we're gonna.
Oh.
You can if you want. If you want to.
But I'm just gonna cut in right at the end. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. And we have a little bit of catching up to do.
I believe we do.
And I'd also turn to Farah, and say, and I just nod. That's it.
And with that. All right, we're gonna go to credits. Thanks very much, everybody, for playing. Thank you, Carl and Bela and Gordon and Darcy and everybody who joined us on the internet. Syntax Singularity, thanks so much. Sir Run-On and Yaufen, and I'm not even sure who's hanging out with us anymore, but thanks so much. Having so much fun doing this. And guys, you unlocked a new companion and a helmet and a slapping old man.
Yeah, I guess we did.
Quick question for you. What do you guys think the title should be for tonight's episode?
Let's see. People always focus on the end, which makes sense. It's kind of climactic, but
It doesn't have to.
Something throughout that is a running trend.
Wake up, Hen.
It's time to wake up.
Throughout this whole thing, I've been so wanting to at some point be like having a title something like Demons and Angels, but that's copyright, so.
No, the other way around is copyright. So Demons and Angels is probably fine. And internet, you are welcome to name our stuff, hashtag name our stuff. You can also make suggestions in the chat right now. What should we call this episode? And definitely, Carl, if you got you're the newbie here. You got any title love for us?
Gotta get some thought, man.
All right, I'm putting you on the spot. That's all
Yes,
good.
you are.
But thanks very much for joining us. It's been too long since we played. I'm sorry you only ended up playing for like half the game and stuff. But
All right, man.
you did.
I enjoy the story.
You did kidney punch that the Bulgara. So that was fun. I know you didn't actually roll the dice, but
No, I saw it die in agony and long talking death. Yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
all right. Well, thanks very much for joining us, everybody. We are hopefully going to stay on the Thursday. I know there's some other things that happen on Thursdays that but you know what I said to all my friends is, what are you going to do? Watch all of Netflix a second time? Come on, man. Jump on into the game and make it happen. Make it yours too. So thanks very much for playing, everybody. And hopefully we can have everybody back next Thursday. And we'll say goodnight.
Yeah, and just, if I can shamelessly plug myself right before
yes.
we go, I have another role-playing show that I do on Fridays. So tomorrow starts at 8, goes to 12. It's Blades in the Dark, industrial fantasy scoundrels. So
Nice.
check that out if you can, over at Darcy Bits.
That's awesome.
Darcy.
Yeah, Darcy Bits, and also check out his art on Instagram at Void Scratchings. You can always reach us at the various places as well. And Gordon, I believe you got a thing coming up that probably deserves a little bit of attention.
Oh yeah. Board game Lost Ones will be the Kickstarter campaign will launch October 13th.
Very cool. That's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for tonight. Thanks so much, everybody, and we'll say goodnight. Buttons. All right. Night, everybody. Thanks for playing.
Take it easy.
No,
Stop.
seriously. It hurts. But you can stop the fire. Alright.
Feel the freezing wind slice against your cheekbones. Cry until your throat is raw and your eyes dry. Feel the warmth of the sun brown your skin. Scream at the top of your lungs. We live with our guards up and our words up, veiled under a mask of infamy. We speak loudest when in silence. Only wordless are we true.
Do you guys mind if we go back on stream just for 1 second here? Because I have something to tell you all that you might want to hear about that I forgot to mention.
I don't know if anybody will be there still, but sure.
Just a quick little side note. Hey, everybody. You are now level 11.
Oh, dang.
It's been a long haul, so you finally got Henrietta, you got the helm off. Congratulations, you are going to be moving into level 11. So nice job. 11sies.
Okay.
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
I don't mind staying level 10, or hey, like, you know, half an hour worth of work.
You're
and I get
gonna
level 11.
You're gonna level up that brand new character to level 11.
You already started at level 10. What's one more level, right?
Exactly. Pretty much.
All right. That's it.
Right up.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, you better believe it. That's what the shirt says, by the way.
Level 6 spells.
All my cantrips are belong to us.
Oh yes, and another upgrade on the cantrips.
Was that 11? Oh, dang.
It's a bump.
I don't use damage cantrips.
I'm gonna have to
The first time I cast
reskin
one
a bunch
today.
of these monsters because this module is made for level 10, but you know, it was time. All right, guys, that's it.
For like level 8.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Take it easy.
Thanks
take
for
it
having
easy.
me. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.